Om Sri Saira. In this modern era, many had raised questions and doubts of their mind. How to go about in a life, how to be in a corporate sector, how one should enlighten spiritually. These are the three basic factors or the areas where people generally fail to comprehend what they require and how to equip that and to deliver. Because of this reason, they are unable to achieve their aims. That leads to distress in their life, and finally it impacts over their health. So once if a person is enlightened with a knowledge how to go about in a life, how to equip himself and how to deliver, if these three things if he analyzes perfectly, he can achieve the goal. Now for this, we have made a course. And Anantha Vijnana Sampada highlights this course so that everyone should be enriched with the knowledge and be fearless state and enjoy the life, blissful life. And what is the course model? Everyone may be enthusiastically waiting for. That's what we have introduced as spiritual strategic management. Now the viewers can ask, what is spiritual? Why it is required to be a spiritual? Strategic management is fine. Why spirituality is required in this? Now here, what we have introduced, the part of spirituality is not related to spiritualism or any religion or any cult. It is very self which is inherent in us. And the term is defined as spirit, which actually is the spirituality. The spirit, in other terms, has been named as consciousness, awareness, intelligence, or even you can say a soul or a spirit. So, which is actually inherent in this body, and it is the only mechanism that organizes, that makes analysis, that makes the presentation. So all this coordination which this spirit is the cause that one has to realize. Hence, spirituality is nothing but the inner consciousness which exposes itself with its feelings, emotions in the externality. Now, strategic. What is strategic? When we talk about strategic, that has many other elements. Now, if a person wants to travel from one place to another, what he does, first he analyzes what, where from I should start, and how to reach my destination. In what way I have to start and how should I reach my destination. Where I have to start is the question. Is it from the home or from my office or from any of the spot where I situated in? How should I start? Now the question is whether I should travel by car or I should go by bus or I should go by airways. These are the options which are available. Now this analysis is the first part. Second, in the strategic condition comes the budgeting. Now what is your pocket permit? Whether I should travel by bus, then it is cost effective. Then if I want to spend little higher price, then I can travel by car. Or if I need a comfort zone, by flight. Options are up to me. So according to my budget, I will try to go ahead. Now, two things. One, I analyzed where I have to start my origin and where I have to reach my destination. Second, my budgeting regarding the financial. Third, planning. In this trip, what are my aims which I have to achieve? What for I plan to travel? Why I took measures to travel? What will be the benefit out of this travel? So when you assume, presume and calculate enough, then you will come to a conclusion. So the third element is planning. That is one of the strategic way. After planning, now in this course of planning, whom else you are going to meet in the travel? And what are your business objectives there? When these things combine together in your travel trip, so meeting point, meeting persons and achievement of your goal, all this also evaluate your analysis and your planning. This is most important in this strategic course. After planning, will that person, whomever we are going to meet in our business meetings, will they cooperate? Will they coordinate? That is the next goal. So that also we have to analyze. That strategy, unless we are not deciding the cooperation and the coordination, you cannot further proceed. If there is no coordination in this trip, now for instance there is quarantine in some places. So your business partners or to whom you are going to meet to realize your objective, if they fail to meet you or if you are being quarantined, then you cannot achieve your goal. So for that reason, what is most important? Either the cooperation from the other end, coordination from the other end is feasible or not, we have to study. So now what we have made? Analysis, planning, coordination, cooperation. Next, motivation. Now when we go for a motivation, now we have made up to now. When we are meeting a person, your interaction is not interested by that. Definitely the person will not accept your proposal. So you have to create an enthusiasm and interest in a person to understand what you want to project and in what way it is going to give a benefit, a common benefit to both of you. That interest is most important. Enthusiasm or motivation is important. And motivation levels are varied. It is not only with the business partners, but it also goes in the sub-levels. Now, if a production unit is there, the production manager has to be motivated, the workers have to be motivated, they have to be paid some compensation. And when you procure some materials, they are also you require motivation. Unless you are not buying a raw material for a large sum, they will not give you a discount. So in this way, in management, there are many such things in the commerce industry. So I am giving you an example about the commerce industry so that it may be viable and easily accessible, understandable for you what all this strategy speaks about. After motivation, the next level, okay, one person got the interest. After that, what he will do? The procedures. After all this are been sorted out, the procedures. What are those procedures? Procedures of a company. Procedures, how they have to define. What should be the code of conducts? When you define a code of conduct, this is what my aim is. For this, these are the procedures which I need to execute. That we have to implement. We have to make a study and to share with our co-partners. Not only the partners, it may be related to the production unit, selling unit and whatnot, administration unit and everyone. So the procedure is most important. After that procedure, control. Can we be able to control that? Sometimes the procedures, many people may override. That's where the entire business gets into loss. Why we meet the failures in our life? Because there is no ethics. There is no value, morality. So the commerce without morality, you cannot gain. So morality is most important. When you introduce that morality in the form of procedures, this is what the code of conduct a unit has to perform. Then there the cooperation and coordination must to follow that. Right from the top level to the lower level. So that delegation of authority, what we call, even that can be named as procedures. So delegation of authority is important after coordination and cooperation, delegation of authority. After that, the target oriented result. When we does all this, procedures are there. Have you aimed into your target? That orientation is important now. Oriented results we are expecting. Orientations is there. Now people are following some procedures, fine. But they may not be having that orientation. Simply the code of law has been followed by the people. Unless for a subject, if a person is not oriented well enough, will he able to perform a good result? So that's also a question. So target oriented result is must. So that orientations, when we enhance, when we teach, that leads to a good result. After that, orientation is over, then implementation. When part of implementation comes, each person is assigned with a role. He has to follow that. You should not compare what other person is doing. If a person unable to achieve a target, the next person should also support him to achieve that target. It is a target orientation, that is why it is said. Target orientation is not a single man show, it is collective show. In that collectiveness, what it has to be? Another person who is ignorant, he should be enlightened, he should be oriented by his master or by his peer. When he does that, then only the target oriented result will be achieved. So the implementation should not be on one-sided. I have implemented what I got the orientation. Now, if my next person who failed to does that job, even we have to support him to do. Then only parallelly, when all the implementations are done in a different units, then that achievement will be successful. After that implementation, net results. Now, in this net result, what we try to find, have we really achieved our target? Now, when I traveled from here to Bombay, and where my business partners are there and his supporting staffs are there, what I required for, all those have been coordinated, cooperated, implemented, and target orientation have been delivered to them, and finally they brought the result or not when it comes. Made a profitable business for me or not. If I lack something, how I will come to understand? When that result, the net results leads to some loss, then there is some lacuna. Either it can be on my part of deliverance, or it can be part of my business associates' deliverance. So where is that lacuna? That I have to realize. Again, I have to restructure that. So that has been, net result has been called as restructuring. Unless you are not restructuring something, you cannot achieve the goal. After restructuring of that, again, the final implementation or presentation. Now it is not an implementation, it will be called as presentation. The final presentation, when it comes on the board, then you will come to the conclusion what is your achievement, real achievement in your life. Then, if any feedbacks are there, that has to be taken and it has to be implemented and restructured to achieve the final goal. So all these processes are there. When you start following all this process, still there may be some mismanagement, manipulation, pilferage. All those things will come under the control of management. So the management will try to manage that. If pilferage is there, it can be managed. If any kind of manipulations are there, through techniques, manipulation techniques, it can be managed. Or if something unwanted wastages are there, it can be managed. So finally, it is the management that takes the hold of the entire system, right from analysis up to the final presentation. It takes all the procedures. So there the management stands. That is why it has been said, unless a person is not developed his consciousness, his awareness thoroughly with an analysis, with a planning, with cooperation and coordination of his own and his ideas, what he need to achieve the target oriented result with a motivation, then implementation and presentation, and finally leading to management. Unless all this process are not been made spiritually, strategically and management, then he cannot achieve the desired result. It is not only leading to a business. It can be for a personal life. It can be for a spiritual life. Now, let me take an example for a personal life. Now, when we talk about a personal life, in our family itself, 4 members are there. If all 4 members are not coordinated together, that leads to misunderstanding. and the person develops so many stress. How to control that? Now, here the cooperation takes the major role. It is not something about other analysis. Here the cooperation. There is no need for analysis. It is not a business among the family. Here we are related. We have to understand each other. Now understanding where it stands in the cooperation, coordination. So you need not to analyze how I should talk to this person, how I should talk to another person in the family. No. Because you are not going to make any business with them. Here you have to understand the feelings and the emotions of the person who is next to you. That is most important. So here what strategy you have to apply? Cooperation. When you try to understand the feelings of others and if you try to cooperate with them, never raise your voice. Never go for any debate or argument with them. That will not going to resolve your issues. There, if other person, another family member is not ready to resolve with you, you try to resolve. You try to cooperate, coordinate. That's good enough. You will achieve your result. What is the result for a family? Peace, pleasure, enjoyment. All that can be feasible only when you cooperate and coordinate. Now, in spiritualism, what kind of things really you require? That is bliss. It is not about the peace or a pleasure or an enjoyment. Here what you really require is the bliss. What you have to do? Negation. Negation in what sense? Now you have the intelligence, you have the consciousness, you have the awareness. Now what is consciousness and what is awareness? There is a difference. It seems to be one, sounds to be one. No, but there is a difference. Consciousness is that what you witness. Awareness is that internally that you exist. Consciousness is related to the externality, where you can find the people around you, where you can find the nature around you. That is the consciousness. Being in the conscious state, many of the things you are unaware. When the awareness comes, that leads to knowledge. When we talk about the knowledge, that awareness, in what way it makes us aware? When we interact with the nature. When we interact inner self. Now I need something, but I could not achieve in the externality. The objective reality has not given that. I have cash, hard cash in my hand. I purchased what I required, but still it has not given me the bliss. Why? Anything cannot be purchased with money. There are certain things that is called bliss, which has to be got only through our awareness. It is not can be purchased by your consciousness or your intelligence. It is only through awareness, when you realize that knowledge with the support of your intelligence. Awareness is well related to the intelligence. Consciousness is partially related to the intelligence. Why? When we talk about consciousness, for instance, I found a chair. Now my intelligence speaks it is a chair. Now it makes a differentiation between a sofa and a chair. So that is related. Consciousness is partially related to that. Whereas for me to sit, I need any chair or a sofa. It never makes any difference for me whether it is a sofa or a chair. For that, intelligence is not required. Awareness is required. What awareness? I need a place to sit. I need a support. That's it. That support has been named as awareness, knowledge. If I am particular about a chair or a sofa, then it leads to intelligence. It speaks, I need only specifically this kind of material where I will sit. So that is related to intelligence. So awareness is something different and intelligence is something different and consciousness is different. But consciousness is also related to the intelligence and awareness is also related to your intelligence. Whereas the awareness makes complete aware. I need only this. Whereas consciousness, when it is related to the intelligence, it never makes any discretion that I need this or that. In what sense it needs? Materially it makes the distinctions. Whereas awareness, it will never make materially. It needs only a support for its existence. That's what the difference between. When you try to understand with the constant integrated awareness, what is that? Constant integrated? Now, in spiritual sense, when we talk about the awareness, the true knowledge, inherent knowledge is that we exist. That Atman, that soul which is existing. And it is not only existing in me, it is existing in everyone. In the very nature it is existing, whether it is animate or inanimate. When you aware about that, and that you have to aware constantly. It is not that one time you aware and next time you negate it. No. The negation, what I said is, all are unrealistic in this nature. And my knowledge is the truth which is constantly existing. So, unrealistic things you negate. I don't need. All those comfort zones I know I don't require at all. When you go for comfort zone, you will be unhealthy. When you become and when you want to become healthy, then your awareness only will speak. I need some support for existence. I need some food for my sustenance. I need some money for my clothes or sustenance you can call. I need some relaxation to gain strength. All those things is related to awareness. And other comfort zones other than this, food, shelter and clothes, other than this, whatever is there, or those are related to your consciousness and intelligence, which keeps asking out of your ego, demanding from you, I need this, I need that. So where the awareness is lacking, then there is no knowledge. It is the question of ignorance. And where the awareness is, state of awareness is there, and constant state of awareness, what I realized is that the same spirit exists in everyone, and everyone also needs this same kind of awareness, for which I am here to enlighten. When you have that constant integrated, that integration here between you and that one, the power who is inherent in you. Now I have been addressed by a name, Sri Anantha. But Sri Anantha is the name, nickname given by my mother or any other person. But inside that, which has no name, no form, so that is the integrity, that is the spirit which exists in everyone. Sri Anantha cannot exist in everyone, but in him, the potential energy, the inherent invisible energy which is existing, it is available in everyone. That integrated, that constant integrated me and that supreme are always one, are always existing parallelly. When this integrated awareness comes, then only that state has been called as true spiritualism or realization. The spiritualism, the self and the supreme self, awareness of the self and the externality. Externality means animate or inanimate. Whomever in this cosmic world are there, all are one. So here it never makes any difference or discrimination of any caste, color, creed or sex, even to the religion. One who understands this, whether spiritually or in the way of personal life or in the my methodology of business, all this put together, we have made a course that has been named as Spiritual Strategic Management. So from this, we can diversify ourselves to any extent to understand this subject. So this course, what we are built up for the awareness of the people, that I will keep on telling in my next sections. I will share with everyone, and we have made some course module. All those course module will be given by our team, Srimati Sudha Ramprasad and Mr. Ramprasad. So all you can learn, and these very same things will be available in the Russian website, which is translated by Miss Kaledova Tatsiana. So you people can learn and enjoy the life, and you can live in the state of bliss. That's what our ideology of Anantha Vijnana Sampada, sharing a time with you, all of you. I feel most pleasurable and blissful, and I bless one and all of you.